Hi, I'm Anne Van Leyneseele, and I grow chocolate. It's a story getting there. After many years of working in the United States, I've lived in 11 states and a foreign country, Australia, where I discovered Port Douglas, which is the far northeastern corner of Australia. It's a small town between the Great Barrier Reef and the Daintree Rainforest. And when I spent the first week that I spent up there, I realized this was the kind of place that I wanted to retire and spend my retirement in. But Australia was a little far away. I thought that many people would not come all the way to Australia to visit me. So I had been to the big island of Hawaii many times, and I thought, you know what, that's a pretty close proximity. And, life happened and years went by. And in 2013, the real estate market in Hawaii still hadn't bounced back. Things take a little longer to get done in Hawaii. We're a little farther removed from the speed at which things happen and things recover in the United States mainland. We are still part of the United States. We fight that battle often. So I started looking for a farm. I really wanted, my mom is a sociologist, and she did research in healthy aging, and I listened to her and her stories about what she was researching and realized that retirement and aging in a healthy way is probably best when you have something that's physically demanding, something that is mentally provides a lot of change and new challenges, and where you're socially interacting and engaging with people on a regular basis. And since I am single and child-free by choice, I decided at 16 I didn't want to do that. And it held true that I needed to have something that kept me moving every day and kept me accountable to an active and productive lifestyle as I live out the rest of my life on my farm. So I started looking for a farm, and I liked the concept. You can buy a farm or you can lease a farm. And when you lease a farm from this wonderful organization called Kamehameha Schools or Bishop Estates, you have an obligation to farm. The stewardship of the land is embodied in having to have agricultural products on a large portion of the acreage that you lease. It's a long lease, and since I'm a lawyer, I wasn't really worried about the details and staying on top of it. And my mom and I and my dad began the search in December of 2012. And Mom and I continued that. Dad was very sweet. He bought us airplane tickets to go continue the search without him. And so Mom and I, in July of 2013, after looking at 25 or 30 different properties, we found this one, our property. Now, I say this one, in case you're wondering, I'm backed by a bunch of Douglas firs. I'm not always at the farm. I'm still not retired. I still work, and so I kind of bounce back and forth from a house in just north of Seattle and the farm as time allows and my schedule allows. So we found this wonderful property, and the house was kind of, a glorified coffee shack, but had a lot of potential and a decent view. And the property was 6.3 acres, which may not sound like a lot of land to some of you that are used to big farms in the Midwest, but it's a lot when you're talking about orchard crops, and certainly for people that don't necessarily need to make their whole living from farming. It'd be nice if it covered itself, but we're still working on that. At any rate, we found this property, and there's nothing that you could sit on the what they call the lanai, the deck, in front of the house and look out at the Pacific Ocean. And there's nothing man-made. between our home and the ocean. And it just was it. And we made an offer, and it took a long time for Bishop Estates to approve us for leasing the property. And we were notified in November that the property would be ours on December 20th. And so we went back to Hawaii for that Christmas. And well, not really for full Christmas for my parents. We went back and stayed in a condo and kind of visited the farm and talked with the exiting owners and transferred a lot of their institutional knowledge and paperwork and talked about things that, little quirks of the farm. And then I put my parents on the plane early the 24th of December on Christmas Eve. And that was the first night that I was going to spend at the farm. Not a stitch of furniture. I think I slept on an air mattress and was perfectly happy with that. We had beds delivered somewhere along the way, but I can't remember if my first night I slept there. And I remember laying there thinking, it's not very quiet. There were animal noises and bird noises and feral roosters crowing at all hours because they don't know how to tell time. But it was magical, and it was home. So, of course, in the middle of the night, there was this huge crash, and I didn't know what to think. Is somebody coming to kill me? Is this a beast? I just didn't know anything then. The reality is it was a couple of coconuts and some coconut palm fronds that decided that now was the time to drop. So they dropped to the farm floor, and the next morning I saw them and was greatly relieved to know what was what. So that began our journey on the farm. Well, bye for now. Talk to you soon.